Hello everyone, welcome to PB Spotlight. I'm Kanishka Ramchandani, the editor of Professional Beauty India, and with me today is Priyanka Parshurami, and together we are here to have a conversation with James Earnshaw, the esteemed global brand ambassador for Wella Professionals. Thank you, James. Thank you for being on PB Spotlight with us.
My pleasure. I'm excited.
Great. We're excited too. So before I throw my questions at him, here's a bit of introduction about James. James has an illustrious career spanning over 2 decades, and he is almost synonymous to innovation, creativity, and unparalleled expertise. As a driving force behind Wella's global vision, James brings a unique perspective and cross borders, inspiring hairstylists and beauty enthusiasts alike. It's a pleasure to have you here, James. And how has your trip to Mumbai been so far?
Thanks. What an introduction. I always find it so funny when I can hear people talking about my career. It's crazy. Yeah, I've had such a great few days. It's gone by very, very fast.
Yeah.
There are so many people here, and it's been such a great experience of culture and food and creativity. And I feel really inspired when I go home.
Fantastic. So speaking of inspiration, when you are working with colors, what is it that inspires you the most?
I think for me, when it comes to color inspiration, there's no right or wrong. So many people feel they have to say it's about fashion shows or anything like that. But I think for me, the two kind of main places I get my inspiration are from like the sky and the sunset and the sunrise. And I think for me, what I love about that is wherever you are in the world, wherever you are, and whatever time it is, it's always different. And that kind of golden hour sunset time, you know, for those 5 minutes, it looks so different whenever you look. I have so many photos, I was saying today, I have so many photos of sunsets on my phone because I love to look at color and make colors that I'm like, how would you make that? You know, colors that seem almost like really impossible to make. I love mixing really loads of different shades together to create them. And I think also as well, you know, taking color inspiration is really important, but also it needs to work on the person you're working on. So I think for me, skin tone, eye color, and I think for me, we've been discussing what kind of Indian people like in hair color is so different because like warmer tones. And I think for me, you can create the best color on the world, but if it's not suited to the person, then it doesn't look good. So I think inspiration, but then making sure it works with that person.
Right. So nature, specifically the sunsetty sky is your inspiration. Wonderful.
I love it. We had a great one in Manchester the other day. It was like orange into purple into blue. And then 30 seconds later, it just changes and it's warm and it's cool. And I just think it's so beautiful.
Fantastic.
Talking about nature, if I can just chip in. So talking about nature, nature also has different types of seasons. It's spring, it's fall, it's winters.
Yeah.
So if you have to pick up one shade, one tone of color from all these seasons, what they would be?
Well, I think for me, when you're doing a client's hair in the salon, you know, their skin tone is going to change through summer, through winter, through spring. So to me, say for example, if you're working with like a beigey kind of blonde, what you're gonna wanna do is maybe kind of spice it up a little bit for winter. So you can use the same beige shade all throughout the year, but kind of tweak it depending on the season. So kind of spice it up in winter with a couple of grams of copper, cool it down in kind of autumn, or cool it down in spring when the sun's kind of coming out with a couple of grams of ash, you know? And then add a bit more gold in there when the sun's out in summer. So to me, I kind of always think most people do want to have quite a similar feel to their hair throughout the year, but it's down to the hairdressing professional to make sure that you're going to do a color that's going to work with their skin tone all year round. And that's quite easy to do. Keep a similar base, but tweak it as you kind of go along.
You have a fantastic eye for color. So there is one color that everyone is drawn to inexplicably. So which one is your go-to color?
There's a few options. I could probably name like 100 colors that I love because I don't see color as like red or blue. I'm like, you know, a hairdresser will always be like, oh, I love like a ceruleo, like we always describe it. But I think pink is one of my favorites. There we go.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why I love a pink tone is because it works on every single skin tone. Whether you're a cool skin tone or a warm skin tone, pink works for everybody because there's elements of coolness and there's elements of warmth in there. And again, I love pink over the top of a brunette to kind of make it slightly rosy. I love it over the top of super blonde hair to make that perfect candy pink. But I also love a tiny bit of pink in my blonde toners just to make it look really expensive and really beautiful. So pink is just probably the shade that I actually use the most over anything else.
So pink works even for dark Asian hair and Afro hair?
Yes, yes, definitely. Because obviously it's made up of mahogany and violet together. It works for everybody. And I think for me, it's always about suitability, but you can kind of amp up the playfulness depending on how brave you want to be. But we've been doing workshops here and we even did pink tones in brunette just to make sure it was really, really beautiful and it just had that soft kind of shimmer.
Great. So if you were not a hairdresser, you might be a painter. That's my guess.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't be very good, but I could probably pick a really nice color to paint the wall.
Yeah. But what would you have been? Like, did you have any other career option?
No, since I was like a young child, I only really remember wanting to do hairdressing, but I don't know, maybe I would be like working like marketing or PR for hairdressing, maybe. But I kind of do a bit of that now anyway, even though I'm not supposed to.
Yes, we can see that from your social media. You have 129K followers. That's huge. So from this collection that you have curated, which of these shades or which of this particular look do you think will go viral?
From the show that we just did?
Yes.
There's a couple that I liked. I think I liked the short-haired girl that I did, just because that's so unexpected to do. I literally was not expecting to do. I thought I might have a shoulder-length model, maybe.
Yeah.
But I was very lucky to have her, and I just tweaked her color in the studio here yesterday, or the day before, and we went for this kind of smoky violet, which people are loving. But I also love the face frame that I created yesterday. That shows the absolute power of Coliston Perfect, how even it was from root to tip, and the hair just looked so expensive. So I think for me, what I love having in a show is something for everybody in a collection. I think you want to appeal to people who have long, more commercial hair, but also you want to see something you've never seen before, you know? And I'm sure no one in that room wanted the hair as short as that model, but it's just great to see on stage something that you've not seen. You know?
So it's editorial looks that you're sure will get translated on the shop floor.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think I love editorial cool looks and I love really expressive creative color, but I think you also need to create techniques or services or shade palettes that people are also going to want to have. So I think within the 5 models that I did have a really nice mix of all of them.
Right. So in your role as the global brand ambassador for Wella, you get to play a lot with colors, obviously, and you get to travel a lot and do such shows. So if you were to sum up all of this in hashtags, what would you say?
Oh my gosh, in hashtags. I mean, it's very eye-opening, I would say.
Okay.
Because obviously, I've just got back from, in the last few months, I've been to China, Australia, India. So even those 3 countries, you know, I've got Australian girls who are really blonde naturally, super dark Chinese hair that's really thick and straight, and then Indian hair, which is really dark as well. So it's so different. But I think in this role, it's so interesting because I actually work with scientists to create the color. Yeah. So you can literally sit with a scientist who wears a lab coat and goggles. They actually do with Wella aprons on, and ask them questions. And I think it makes you a better hairdresser because you literally know what ingredients go in and why they go in, and you know, how can this color work on like my hair, but also Indian hair. So I think, yeah, very eye-opening. Very eye-opening. Right,
that's a clever pick of word.
Yes.
Yeah, hashtag eye-opening.
Yes.
I have to ask you, what is your all-time favorite cut technique and why?
I think I don't necessarily have a favorite color technique because I feel like, again, it totally depends on the person, but I do like to make really difficult challenges for myself. And my team are always like, why do we need to make her hair really blonde when she's so dark? Or why do we have to make her so dark when she's blonde when we've just got off a plane? But I just love that magic of the before and the after and just changing the skin tone, you know? And I think it doesn't have to be super crazy sometimes. I mean, one of the models that came in, Pooja, she had naturally really dark hair, pretty much black, a few grays, and all I did to her base color was lighten it up to like a mid-brown before I put any pink or blonde in there. And I was just like, oh my God, your skin tone, your eye color, your eyebrows just look so much more blended and softer just from changing. So I think for me, I just love transformation. I don't love just doing like,
A technique.
you know, like a little toner or like a little tweak. I like to
Do
change
the entire makeover.
and and just see, you know, when they're in the clothes and the makeup on stage. I think I just love. It's my favorite part of my job is seeing how you've, you know, given her more confidence and you've transformed her into this like beautiful person.
Great. And your team can blame it on the sunsets.
Yes, exactly.
All right, James. So we are done with our first round of questions, and thank you so much for answering all of them
pleasure.
so heartily. And we'll now like to invite Pravesh here to join us.
Hello and welcome to the second segment of PB Spotlight. In this segment, we are going to be joined by Pravesh Saha, GM, Wella India and South Asia. With his wealth of knowledge and industry expertise, Pravesh has taken Wella altogether to a new level, and he's also cemented the brand's position. So, hi Pravesh.
Hi Priyanka, thank you for inviting me.
Hello, Pravesh. Thank you
Introduction.
for joining us, and thank you for getting James here. It's a pleasure interviewing him. Congratulations on being number one. And with Wella, we have seen that you have a very diverse community of hairdressers. So, hypothetically, if you were to put together a talent show, what kind of unique talents do you think hairdressers are going to show?
Yeah, that's interesting actually. We at Wella, so our community of hairdressers is about 28,000 plus strong now in the Indian subcontinent, right? And they're obviously a very diverse community with different skill sets, different talents. And I'm seeing increasingly, if I were to, let's say, organize a Wella talent show, these guys would adapt Indian international looks, but add their own masala, which is what we're seeing increasingly now happening. The other thing that I see is a lot of, rich naturals, vibrant reds, new looks getting created, which are trending, and these go really well with Indian skin tones. So that's another area where I see Indian hairdressers doing some great work. And I think another area where we're inspiring the globe as Indian hairdressers is creating these low maintenance color looks, which is something that, you know, the Indian consumer wants and the Indian hairdresser has now skilled up and delivered.
And if you think Wella colors could talk, what they would say to the hairdressers when they are doing the color techniques?
Okay, if Wella colors could talk. I think, and this is completely hairdresser speak, Wella colors for them are like their best friends. So just like your best friend, it will tell you when you're being a little naughty and not playing by the rules. But it will also be the person who will be with you when you want to break them and have fun. So yeah, I think that's the conversation that a hairdresser has with Wella products and Wella colors.
And recently you've launched the new Kolkata Perfect Me Plus range. So we would like to congratulate you because you're getting the new era of hairdressing in India. So hair color and hairdressing in India. So if the products of Kolkata Perfect Me Plus were the characters of any movie, which genre movie would you like to make out?
Okay, yeah, that's it. But I think it's actually easy to answer because at Wella, for us, our products have always been our superheroes. So the genre of movie that Wella colors stand for would possibly be superheroes. And if I were to think about it a little more, then an Illumina would be like Captain America. Just perfect. A blonder would be like Thor, most reliable. Color touch would probably be like the Hulk, perfect for finishing the job. And Kolkata Perfect Me Plus, I think, is Iron Man, with its wide array of weapons and options and super powerful and super reliable.
That's great. Thank you.
We also have a Thanos, like Grave Gone.
Yeah.
Yes. True.
Okay, thank you so much, Pravesh, for answering these
Pleasure.
questions. I would like to throw one of your questions to James. Do you talk to your color when you mix in them, or do they talk to you?
I mean, I think when I've been prepping models for quite a few hours, they probably start to. And I think I have to then start rethinking and think, okay, listen to what it's saying to you.
Yeah. All right, now we'll move on to the rapid fire. You ready,
Okay.
James?
I'm nervous for the rapid fire. I don't know what I'm going to say.
All the best.
Okay, your favorite coloring technique?
I would say anything transformational.
Your dream color palette for Indian hair?
At the moment, I'm loving like a rosé brunette.
Your favorite style icon?
My favorite style icon. I would say anyone from the 70s.
What advice would you give to a colorist managing virgin hair?
I would say you only got one chance they're going to be a virgin hair, so enjoy it while you can.
A celebrity you would love to style?
A celebrity that I would love to style is a singer called Loreen, who is based in Sweden.
Describe James Earnshaw in one word.
What word shall I use there? I would say determined.
Hashtag determined, is
Yes.
it? What's your signature look?
I would say super sexy, cool girl hair.
The best part of using Hollister?
The fact that I can do anything I want from any depth, any hair type, any color results.
One sustainable practice that hairdressers can easily adapt?
Keep practicing, keep working on your social media and become the best hairdresser you can.
If you could jet set to any city for a hairdressing adventure, where would you go? Please say Mumbai.
I'd probably do Mumbai and then Sydney. I'd cut my journey in half and I'd come here first and go back to my hotel for breakfast.
All right. Bravo, James. That was a wonderful rapid fire. And with that, we conclude the PB Spotlight with James Earnshaw and Pravesh Saha of Wella Professionals. See you next time.